Do you want to relax into your creativity? Then I've got the perfect chance for you. What we're going to do is make a little slow stitching book. So the whole thing is all about getting creative, using the supplies you've got, and relaxing. So let's get started.
You'll need some sort of fabric for your book. Now, for the pages and the lining, I'm using an old sheet. Now, the notebook cover I've got is 9 inches by 6 inches, and the pages inside are 8 inches by 5 inches. Now, that lining that I've made for the book cover is just less than 9 by 6 inches, so it doesn't stick out. Make yourself a few pages, doesn't matter at this point, you can make a couple and then do some more later, but you do need a cover. Now this cover is 9 by 6, and as you'll see it's a little bit bigger than the lining I cut, so you can't see it. So do your lining about 1/8 of an inch less. So then you want to think, what do I want on that cover? Now you can see mine's felt, you could use any fabric you like, but you are going to decorate it. Now slow stitching a project like this, you can just make it up as you go along, but I prefer to do a little bit of planning. So I raid all my scraps. And there are bits of skirt coming on here, bits of a top, bits of old ribbon. That's actually part of a needle case that I made. So as you can see, you don't just use up your scraps, you have a little trip down memory lane as well. So you can see I'm just building it up, having a play, seeing what I think, thinking what would look best overlapping other things, what would look better nice and clear, and I may add some other stitches, but it's just about exploring. You can also fray the edges of some of these pieces so they look a bit different, but then it's just about sewing them on, and I'm largely just using a running stitch to sew these on. So as you can see, as if by magic, I've sewn them all on, and then when I fold it over, I've got that lovely little booklet that you saw at the beginning. I'm happy with that. Now when you look on the inside, you can see the back of all your work. Now if you like that, then do please leave that open, but I don't, so I have a lining to go inside it. So all I've done here is exactly the same. I've got lots of bits of fabric and ribbon and I've sewn them on, but I have marked the middle because obviously when it's closed up, those are two separate pages and they won't be seen together. So on this side, I've gone very much with the pinks and the greens, and I've added in some little French knots, and I do like the flowery ribbon that actually my mum gave me. And on the other side, I've got these lovely burgundies and the crosses. So that is going to go on the inside of the cover, and it'll make the front and the back page. And you can see it's just a tiny bit smaller. And if at this point you decide it should be a little bit smaller, it's still sticking out, you can always trim it down. But I'm going to sew the two together. I'm going to use blanket stitch. Now I'm going to show you here what I'm doing. You can see I've pinned them together because I don't want them to move. And I've started my blanket stitch. If you need more tuition, I've got a video on the screen and in the description below. But basically you just put your needle through both layers and then put it through the loop, and that's what puts your layer of embroidery thread right on the edge, and it stops things fraying and keeps it a nice strong edge. So I do like it just for sewing them together. You can use it for sewing your fabric onto your pages as well, but I just really like it for around the edge, and it's just a case of working all the way around. If you're worried about starting and stopping or at the corners, refer to the bigger video. So once I've got all the way around, that's what it looks like. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with all the different stitch types, and I'm happy with how the lining looks. So then it's time for pages. So what I would like to do here is share my pages with you. So as we've already discussed, these have got some detail on, but largely I've used a running stitch. And you can see some of the fabrics there have been frayed, so you can see what that effect looks like. You'll also notice I don't do it with all of them. It's that variety I quite like. So here's a page where I've embroidered some flowers and some stems. There's a video on screen and below that shows you how to do that, and I'll probably add a vase just over the top, use some fabric just to cover those stems, but we'll see. And there we go. I've added a vase and a bit of ribbon to the side, to be honest, just to add a bit of interest. And on the other side, I've gone vintage. Now, one way of doing that is like I've done here with some lace and then some little bit of fabric that look like vintage fabrics that are actually new, but they look vintage. And notice the line down the middle with my heat erasable pen, just so I work on two separate pages, just to make sure. Right, and what did I do on the other page that I've sewn to the back of it? I just did two different pages. So this one's very much just fabric and ribbon sewn on and a few little French knots. And on this side, I've done some rows of embroidery stitches, different ones. So look up different stitches and have a go at them. You can see I've drawn some lines on, but when I iron it, they're just going to disappear and then they'll just look as if they were just done by magic. I was just really clever. And you can also notice the stitching around the edge, or that blanket stitch. So this page, you can see I've used a lot of ribbon. I've gone bright colours, bright ribbons, and then added some detail in front. On this side, I've got some diamonds left over for some English paper piecing and some other little bits, and then brought it together with some French knots. And these have gone very much the pinks and the blues. And those little pigs, some ribbon I've been wanting to use for a long time that my mum and dad bought me, and my dad's not been with us for a very long time. So I was happy to use that. Here I've focused on embroidery. Now these are some iron-on transfers. I've had them for a long time and my mum gave me them. Iron-on transfers, have a look online for some. They're great because then you can just embroider over them and you can get pretty pictures like these two. On this side, another page which is just fabrics, but with some contrasting embroidery threads, which is quite nice. And this is to represent binker mats, which we made at school, where you did rectangles of different embroidery stitches so that you learnt. And that's just for me to reminisce. These pages, this on the right has got some bees on it, and those bees I actually stamped on those fabrics at a craft show. So that's a nice little memory for me. And this, we've got some more fabrics left over from projects. And on the left hand side, there's a theme, a sewing theme. So there's another idea. You can make pages with certain themes to them. So that one represents my sewing. I'm hoping I'm giving you some inspiration here. So those are all the pages I'm doing. You can do as many or as few as you like. But remember, if you do lots of pages, they'll need to be smaller than the book, as in smaller than I've done them. Otherwise, they'll start to stick out. So now we need to attach the two. So I've clipped my pages together and I've got the cover separately. Now I'm going to use a pamphlet stitch. So I've marked 1 inch from the top, 1 inch from the bottom and the centre. And then I'm doing the same on the pages. But I'm clipping them together and I'm just going to mark the front page. So you can see I've chosen what order I want them in. So do take a little bit of time to select your order. And then clip or pin them together, mark the centre and mark the same distance away from the centre as the outside ones were, not the same distance from the edge. And then you want some strong thread or some more of your embroidery thread, which is what I'm using, and you're going to go in that centre hole. And don't worry, this is really simple to do. So you're going in the centre and then making sure you come out through the centre hole on the cover. So just take your time and keep redoing it until you're through the centre. And this is going to mean they're all lined up perfectly. Leave a nice long tail on your thread. You don't want to be chasing it and struggling at the end. And then we're going to come back through those top holes. So find the hole on the cover and then go through the hole on the pages. So again, you're just going to have to keep doing it until you find that hole. There we go. Pull it through so you get that nice flat thread on the outside. Careful not to pull it all the way through. You still want your tail. And then you're going to come right down to those marks you made at the bottom. So you're going to go through the dot at the bottom and then through the dot in the cover again. Just take your time and make sure you get it right. So if you get this right, they'll be lined up perfectly and it'll all work out really well. Again, you're pulling that nice and tight but not letting your tail pull through. And then you're going to come back through that centre hole. And make sure, as you come through the pages in the middle, you're on the opposite side of that long thread that you've got tight. Opposite side to the tail that you've already got. You can see I'm just making sure, but you still want to make sure you come through the same hole. You just go on the other side. You can see I'm having a bit of a battle with it, but that's okay. Right, we're through. So now I'm going to take my clips off and I'm going to check everything's okay and pull my thread tight. And I should have a book. Yeah, everything is okay. Right, and then it's time to tie them together. So I'm just checking everything's all right. You can see we've got that nice binding. And then it's just a case of tying the two ends together. Now, if you don't want to bother with this pamphlet binding, you could just stitch from the top to the bottom, either by hand or on the sewing machine, and that will hold it together. All that matters is that you're holding it together down that spine, but I do quite like the pamphlet stitch. I think it suits this style. And then make sure you leave some length on those ends. You don't want your knot pulling through. And as I say, it's all very casual, so it's okay to have a loose thread in there. Just like that. Looks quite cute. And there we go. We've got a book. So I hope as we flick through this book that you're feeling inspired to make your own slow stitching book and relax, slow down and enjoy your sewing just for you and your own creativity. This is not for anybody else unless you want it to be. So please go on and enjoy your sewing.